So cute. Hey, Fee, wanna meet people? No? Okay, bye. Okay, this is, let me see. This is the XION, I think 560BK, which is for black. Nice box. Look at this foam though. Now this case was about $43 after shipping. It was about $40 beforehand. Foam, not bad. Now I should look at their website to see exactly what materials are used, but it's a glossy metal it looks like, and it's astonishing to say the least. Look at that glossy reflective metal. We have one thing, vent up here for a 120mm fan. We have a fan up here installed. There's one in the front as well. Yeah, there's a front blue LED fan up here. They're both MOLEX. They're not PWM. We have actual thumb screws, unlike some cheaper cases I've seen in the past. But on some cheap cases, they just use the cheapest screws I've ever seen. Now I'll take out the side panels for you. The side panels are identical other than one thing, so they are reversible, except looks like the mounting, there's meshing on both sides, but there's holes right here for mounting. I can't tell what size that is, maybe 80mm to, I mean, you could even do 120, but when you take this off, oh, black on the inside as well, not silver, like some cases are, just like silvery on the inside. The side panel, no flex at all. Well, I mean, if you flex it, it's gonna flex, but no like the wobbly kind of flex like I have seen on other cheap cases. They're very similar, except this one does not have the little mounting screws in this one, or the mounting holes. So they are reversible, but that's how you can distinguish which one is which. On the front, we have a USB 2.0, actually two USB 2.0s, USB 3.0, power and reset. Oh, this thing will attract hair, by the way. You see this hair right here? Kitty, you don't want to get into that. That's not yours. So this thing is a full piece, just comes off. Well, right here, you can kind of see how it's pieces right here, kind of wobbly. We got 3 5¼ inch bass. Actually, only 2 5¼ inch. This is a 3.5 inch. Only one comes kind of bent out. You have to bend these other two out. You don't have very much cable room back here. However, there are little tiny areas where you can use cable ties, which it does include. To install the 5¼ inch bass is pretty simple. You actually have different size for the mounting. So you can take these out and say if the mounting is a bit farther back, or you just want to put your if it's a bit larger, so you can kind of move those around. Right here's your SSD sled. It's kind of thin. This one actually kind of has some flex to it. Yeah, you just put your SSD on this side, I believe. Screw it in from the bottom, and you can go to town. 3.5 inch bays. And the mechanism for this, I've seen this on the something really similar on the Inwin GR1 or Inwin Grown. It was one of my first cases I've used, but they were kind of a bit more flexible in what you would do, because you see there's not really screws on the side. On those ones you had to like flex it outwards and put the drive inside. These ones, however, much better. That was a $100 case, and this one though, $40 case. It shows you instructions right here, right on the thing. You just pull them outwards, the pins pop out, just like that, and then yeah, just kind of pop it in there. See if I got that right, where the holes are at. There we go. Pop the sides in, and then it just slides inwards. That easy. These are easy sleds to use. There's a nice CPU cutout back here. Pre-installed standoffs. They're black. Now it's 1, 2, 3 screws. 1, 2, 3 down here, and then 1, 2, and you're missing one on this side. But that's okay, because inside the bag of hardware you get one of the it's a little plastic piece. I'll show you here in a sec. But you can put that on there if so your MATX board requires it. We have 4 Pci Express Slots. That is correct. This one's the only one that you can unscrew. These ones just bend out. So let me unscrew this real quick. This one unscrews. The other ones just bend out. So I guess that's fine. I mean, how much money extra would that have costed? There's 2 grommets right here. Okay, let's go ahead and look at your headers. So you have your HD audio along with your, is this AC97? You got your USB, other USB, as well as USB 3.0. So these are the 2 USB in the front, or you can use this one there. And you do have cutouts for, see, power supply goes right here. Then you have your, for all your cables to probably go through from your power supply. And this is where either your 20+4 pin would go through, 24 pin, whether if you had the skinnier MATX motherboard or the square one like I mentioned earlier. I guess you could use this for your 4-pin CPU, 4 to 8 pin, I'm not judging. And then over here as well, yeah, I guess you could use those. So you do get 5, I can count, 5 zip ties, which is very, very handy. Here's the manual, again, not helpful at all. You got a 200mm fan or 4 80mm fans. Here's your SSD slot again, your hard drives, that you're gonna have to guess what your screws are for. But don't worry, I'm here to the rescue, because I can maybe figure it out. So up here on our bag, we have another bag section. We get a speaker, a little beepy thing that beeps when your computer turns on, or when there's an error. They just kind of get in the way. So we get 3 types of screws. We get these ones. These are for your 5 1/4 inch bays. I know this because they're a bit bigger. Okay, so these you get 2, 4, you get 8 of these. I lied, there's one more. You get an extra 6 of these hex screws. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and allocate 4 of these little dome-shaped ones, little circle on them. I don't know what they're called, but that's what they are. 4 of those for the SSD, 2, 4, 6, 8 for the motherboard. Okay, so I lost some hardware that came with it. It was something along the lines of this thingy, but it's for, like, if your motherboard, say, is the big square that you don't have that extra standoff, so you'd kind of like put it through here and it'd sit against the case and wouldn't have to touch the case or just kind of be hanging there. Okay, so hardware. We got MSI AM1M. Now, we're not going for performance. We're going for what'll work, what I have on hand. Now we have an Athlon 5150 in here with the stock cooler. We have 2 gigs of RAM. That's all we really need. Instead of an SSD, I just brought a little 2.5 inch drive. This is 500 gig. Why not? Throwing a 970 right there. I know it's completely ridiculous, but this is not, again, just to show you what'll fit. I need to see card length. And a brand new EVGA 500 watt 80 plus bronze power supply. EVGA's power supplies, they look great. Just gonna have to move out of the way. This cannot reach. I must put it through. Actually, this it won't not fit either for the HD audio, so you're gonna need to route that around as well. We got some USB. 2 USBs are routed to this one, so it's going to USB 1. And we've got our headers. Also, something worth noting is that the feet on this are just tall enough to where you can put it on carpet, and it probably won't leak in unless your carpet is pretty thick. The SSD slot does have a lot of flex to it, which is so far the only downside of this case, in my opinion. Next, let's do GPU before we do cable management. Okay, that came out quite easily. I don't know why they don't give you a couple more of these screws. There's only one of these, now it's for the PCI Express slot. Oh snap, that might be cutting into the motherboard. That is. Yeah, watch out. Tear these out before you put your motherboard in there, because it's kind of definitely hitting the motherboard. Because it could be an issue if you already have your board in here and you want to like add an expansion card, but it's going to be difficult because it could be scraping up your board. Might be running into some limitations here. No, it'll fit. Just have to go in this way first. There we go. So another couple inches at least if you're not putting cables in the way, which I will have to shove all of those cables in there. But yeah, or if you don't have a USB 3.0 port right here, it's handy that they do just have just USB right here, so you can just connect that and the port will just work as the speeds of a USB 2.0. So over here I just used the screw it came with as well as the extra hex screw I had. So by default these match up right along the holes right here. Matches up on both sides, so I assume that's right where it needs to be. Nifty. And you will see the label of your CD drive. I don't have enough SATA cables for everything. We don't need the hard drive plugged in. Issue. You're gonna have to put the 90 degree in here if you use an SSD, because the SSD is laying flat against here. You will not have room for your 90 degree SATA cable. Plugging in your SSD should come in the same step as installing it. I say this because I cannot get my fingers in there. There. So that's why I was saying you might want to wait before you plug in your SSD. So you have to plug in both those cables. And now you're a bit more free. Plug in, actually. This is very conflicting. Oh wait, no. I got it. It just slides back to that little hook. And there we go. And the cables are in. Yes, that is a keyboard sitting on the ground. Don't judge. Power? Oh, I think I know what the issue is. Boom! And there we go. Do not blow up. Actually, that equals views. Blow up, please. So I'm going to put on the side panels in a second, but I just want to show you. Blue fan. Very blue indeed. A very nice vivid blue. We got some LEDs right here for power. Get in there. You're not wanted. You're obsolete. That's a nice bit of air coming out the back through that fan right there. And it closes. That one's easier. Best $40 case I've ever seen. So guys, if you liked, you can leave a like if you would like. Zion, you get a big thumbs up from me. Keep doing what you're doing. See you guys next time.